Hi, my name is Raheem Nelson, and today we're going to be blending the human eye and using ArtRage for iPad. And this is the third part in the eye sketching, painting, and blending series. Today being the last part of the series, and we're going to use the palette knife. The first thing I want to do is make sure I have the palette knife tool. I'm on the oils, as you can see. I want to tap that, and I want to go to my palette knife. And you want to make sure the pressure is pretty low. So I've got 42% pressure and 25% for the size. Now for my layers, I want to make sure that the sketch is turned off because I don't need it, and everything else gets merged. To do that, meaning just put all your layers together into one image, hit the gear, and I am just going to merge down until I merge everything that I want to merge. So just do that a few times. And I have two layers. So I'm on the top one, it's highlighted green. And I'm going to zoom in for this because you want to be very careful about the blending. And since I'm using the Apple Pencil and it's pressure sensitive, I want to make sure I just apply a little bit of pressure so I can start blending those colors together. And I'm going to look at my photo while I'm doing this. And then I'm just going to carefully apply pressure to the paint so that I can blend it. And that involves going around and doing the edges of the eyes so I don't really have hard corners. And then also inside the eye. And then you'll see the paint start to blend. And this part is something you want to take your time on. I'll go underneath the eye, around the eye, and make sure that I'm smoothing out. And I might leave some things harsher than others, and some smoother. So one thing I'm also doing is changing the size of the palette knife. Certain areas, like the wide of the eye, are bigger than the underside of the eye, so that will involve me changing the size of the palette knife. So I want to blend a little area or a big area, I will change the size to fit the needs that I may have for the piece. And I always zoom in to make sure I get it the way I want it to. So the corners where the paint meets the canvas, I want to smooth those out too. I want to have a nice transition between paint and canvas. Now I'm going to go into the eye and start smoothing that out. And the white of the eye will be added last. I'm still going back to my picture so I can make sure it looks the way I want it to. And the palette knife is great because the colors can bleed into each other in a harsh or a soft way. And I'm going to the darker color at the top. And this is not as smooth as inside of the eye. So I'm really going to press down soft because I don't want to blend it too much. Whereas the inside of the eye is smoother. And also do that for the ring. I don't want that to be too harsh. So slowly I will go around and blend that down too. So now it's a little smoother and fits everything else. Okay, so now I'm going to blend the eyelashes slightly. I want to make the size of my blender a little small because I don't want to do the whole thing, just the tips. So that I will have a nice blend there. I don't have to do all of them, just a few to give some variation. I'm pressing down very, very lightly. Now I can do the top of the eye. I'm going to make my size of the knife bigger. I'm going to zoom in so I can put more pressure down. So now it's going into the canvas a little. Some of those stray marks look pretty good at the very edges, which is what I'm trying to get. Okay, still going around the top of the eye. I'm blending things down. And I'm bringing everything out to where the paint meets the canvas. And I'm kind of going in between the eyelashes. So now I'm going to go underneath the eye again, check for more spots I want to blend. In certain spots I'm just going to leave alone because I like the harsher edge, but others I will kind of blend down and together. Like this part here, I'll blend a little bit. Alright, so now I'm going to add the whites of the eye and other light sources that I see. The color white is all the way up in the upper right corner. And I'm going to switch back to my oils brush automatically. And I think my brush size looks good. I'm going to zoom into the eye. And I'm going to paint over my first layer so that the paint can just start blending. I'm going to look at where the light is on the eye in the picture. And I'm going to try to replicate that as best I can. And there's actually a second light source, which is like that aqua blue that is in the eye. So I'm going to pick that up here, make my brush smaller, and I'm going to put that in too. So I might blend the edges a little bit just to see how that looks. And if I don't like it, I can always undo it with the undo button. Okay, so that's good. Smooths things out. And now I can go back to the color white with my oil brush. And I'm going to add some of that in the eye duct, the tear duct rather. And just a few pockets of light. And I'll blend those in too. So with blending, sometimes you have to go back and forth with your brush and then with actually making marks. So it's nice and blended in. And I'll move to underneath the eye so I can add some more light. And this one is kind of a harsher line, so I may not blend it. And we have a little bit of light up here too. And I also see that there's light on the eyelashes, so I'll put some of that in. And I'm taking some liberties with the photo because there's no need to illustrate every single little last detail. but I'll get just enough where it looks like the actual subject. And I'll blend that in a little. I'm really going to take my brush down, my palette knife down to about 8. Zoom in, and then just blend that a little. So it's good to have light sources, but you don't want to make them too harsh all the time. So I've got all my light sources put in where I want, underneath the eye, over the eye, and in the tear duct. Last thing I need to do is sign my work and then save the painting. I'm going to put my signature in the bottom right corner and switch back to my oils brush. So I'll just write it out right here. And then I'm going to hit the ArtRage icon, save painting, and that's saved. I view gallery, and then I can look at the other steps I had in the process. If you want to name your painting, you tap on the icon, and then you tap the gear, rename painting, and I will call this one Eye Demo. Hit done, and it's saved. So that closes out the eye sketching, painting, and blending demo. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. And be sure to check out my website at raheemnelson.com.